So, how do you create amazing looking virtual tours like this? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create these sorts of virtual tours using Matterport software and a 360 camera in just a few simple steps. Let's take a look. First of all, you're going to need to get yourself one of these. This is a 360 camera, and there are two brands of camera that work with Matterport software. They're made by Ricoh and Insta360. And this is the Ricoh Theta Z1, and this is the top spec model really. It's about £800, about $1,000 US, but there are cameras at all price ranges from about £200 all the way up to this. There are also cameras made by Matterport, but they're a lot more expensive and a lot bulkier. It looks a little bit like you're using a speed camera to photograph someone's house in. But if you're looking for a more affordable, easier to use option that's a lot more portable, then I'd recommend getting one of the third-party options. I'll put links to all the cameras you can use with the Matterport software below, but to reel off a few, there's the Ricoh Theta Z1, Ricoh Theta X, Insta360 1X, Insta360 1RS, and several more, which I'll put in the links below. When you're buying your 360 camera, you're also going to need to get one of these. This is a monopod. Basically, it's a tripod, but just with one pole, as you can see, and then it's got 3 feet at the bottom, which obviously make it balance. The reason you're going to want to get one of these is because these cameras are very slim. They've got two 180 degrees lenses, making the 360 view. So it's going to see all the way down. So you don't want a tripod spraying legs out all the way. But saying that, Matterport does fix this anyway, because it just grays out what's below. But it's much easier to have a monopod than a tripod to get around the house, I find. You can pick monopods up at all price points on Amazon really. This was about £30, and you can get ones all the way up to over £100, about $150. They'll probably have weights at the bottom, which is a good thing, to be honest, for when you're shooting outside really, just in case there is a little bit of a gentle breeze, because I've learned from experience that these things do easily topple over, and then you're left with a cracked lens, and you don't want to learn the hard way like I did. Once you've got your 360 camera and your monopod, then you're nearly ready to go. All you need to get then is download the Matterport app on your phone and register for a Matterport account. So let's take a look at that. Once you've downloaded the Matterport app and made a profile and signed in for the first time, you get a screen like this, but without all these properties, because you won't have done any yet. And then all you want to do is click on New Job. And then you can fill in the address of where you are. You can either do this now or do it later. I usually just put the first line in and then fill the rest out later. Once that's done, it'll go to a screen like this, and this is where you'll start making your virtual tour. But as you can see, it's saying iPhone at the moment. We need to link it to our camera first. To do this, you simply need to turn your 360 camera on, make sure the Wi-Fi function is turned on, then go to your phone, make sure this is connected to your phone using Wi-Fi, then go back to your Matterport app, and then it should connect automatically, but if not, make sure you go to Add New Camera, and you should be able to just add it there, and then you're ready to go. Once you've got your camera set up and it's connected to the app, you're going to want to go around the property, make sure it's all looking tidy, and also you're going to want to turn all the lights on so it's nice and bright, and also open all the doors so that your tour can build and link easier, and you're going to get a nice professional looking virtual tour. Once all that's done, you're going to want to start your tour by probably starting off in the middle of the room, a bit like this, then get your phone out, then you need to go and hide. And the reason for that is because you don't want to be in the virtual tour. Then once you've taken your first shot, you're going to want to get your 360 camera, move it forward a few paces, then go and hide again and take another shot. Then continue to scan your property, moving your camera around just a few paces at the time, making sure you get into all areas of the property. Then you'll start to get a nice looking map like this. Once you finish scanning the whole property, you're going to want to go back into the app and mark on all the windows and mirrors like this. This is because it's going to help build the tour, and your 3D model is going to look a lot straighter and cleaner. A couple of other things to keep in mind when shooting the property is that when you're going into different rooms, going through doorways, is take a shot on one side of the doorway. Once that's done, take a shot on the other side of the doorway. That just means the software is going to be able to build your model a lot better, because it's going to know when you're going into another room and it can't see around corners, so you have to take it both sides of the doorway. And the other thing to keep in mind is that if you're shooting a house that's got stairs, which just hasn't because it's an apartment, you're going to want to go up at just 3 steps at a time. That way, your model is going to get built a lot better, and there's going to be no problems when it uploads. Once that's done, it's time to upload your first virtual tour. All you have to do is click upload. One thing I would say though is you might want to wait till you're on your Wi-Fi at home to do this, because it does use your data on your phone. So if you don't have unlimited data, then you might want to wait. But I'm going to upload it now so it's ready for when I get back to my editing suite, and then we're going to have a look at how we edit our first virtual tour. Once you've hit upload, your scans are going to be built into a 3D model. This could take a few hours, but once it's ready, you'll get an email and then you'll be able to log in to matterport.com and start the editing process. So let's log in and take a look how we do this. So once you've logged into your profile on matterport.com, you'll see this screen first, and you're going to want to click on all spaces. This will take you to the scan you've just done, and I've got quite a few here, but you'll just have one if it's your first scan. So we'll click on the one we've just done here, and it will take you to this page. And the first thing you're going to want to do is fill in the details for the property. We did a little bit of this earlier in the property, but we're just going to want to add a few extra things. So here under name, we've got the address, and then presented by, you've got the agent's name, and then I put the website. There are other things you can put in, but you're just going to want to discuss this with the agent, and you can decide what you want to include here. Once you've done that, click save, and then we're ready to do some editing. So we'll go into the edit section by clicking here, and it will take us to our tour. So one of the first things we're going to want to do is just have a little look around, make sure it all links together like this, and this all looks like it's all worked nicely. And then we can look at the plan as well, check that's all nice and straight, and also the 3D model. And yep, that's all looking nice. So we'll get back into our plan. Once we've made sure the plan all works, we're going to want to set our start location. So you're going to want to find a nice spot. Actually, I usually do these outside, but as this place was a bit of a building site, we're just going to do the start location inside. So we'll line our picture up once we've got a nice view, and then click this icon here which says start location. Once you've found your nice view, you should simply click here, it says start location. Just wait a moment, and then you're ready. You can click preview, just see how it looks. So there, it will zoom in, and there we go. Very nice. There are a few other handy little features that you might want to look at. For instance, if there's a scan which maybe you don't want to include, you click this icon here which says 3D scans, and then it's got a list of them here. And then so we're on scan 1 here, you could click hide scan, and then that will take it out of the tour and it won't appear on the scan that you send to your client. Another handy little tool you might want to use is this blur tool just here. It's for you, say if you want to get rid of car registration numbers, or if there's family pictures on walls which you might need to blur out. You simply click on it, and then it will bring up this little icon here. You can scan round, find a picture you want to blur out, click on it, and then use the mouse to blur out there. And as you can see in the background, it's blurring out. Once you're ready, you can click yes, or if you want to get rid of it, then just click off. So click on that and blur and click. And then if you want to get rid of it again, you can just click here, delete. As I've mentioned, you quite often want to start your tour with an exterior shot, and you find those here in 360, which you would have done on site. So click on 360 here, and it will bring up this tab with your external shots you've taken. So you want to drag it over here, and then we'll find a window. So probably just want to go into the front room from there, line it up, and then click on it, and then you can rotate it here to make sure it's pointing the right direction, to make sure we've got the right house in view. So that's the house there. Once you've got it lined up, click, and you can have a look. So turn around there, and that's our little entrance point there. And we can also put this as start location. So set start location, and there we go. Now we've got our exterior as our front start location. There are other functions you can use, which you can see here. We've got labels, measurements, guided tour, tags, and notes. I'm not going to go into those now because all the bits I've just gone through is all you'll really need to get your first tour sent to your client. So that's how you scan and edit your first virtual tour using Matterport. I hope that's helped, but if you're also thinking about shooting video, a great, affordable and convenient camera to use is the Osmo Pocket 3. And I've made a video about that for real estate here, so you can check that one out too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.